In the frozen void of the Aegates Sector, at the very edge of the galaxy's final spiral arm where the light of the galactic core is but a dim, amber memory, a new predator believed it had found the perfect prey. They were the Kartha-Nur, a species of stellar nomads whose very existence was a fluid, shifting ode to speed and formlessness. Their silver, triangular ships, sharp as monomolecular razor blades, did not merely fly. They danced among the stars with an ephemeral elegance that mocked our heavy, unyielding geometry. To the Kartha-Nur, space was a canvas for their biomechanical grace, a playground where the weak were culled by the swift. Their propulsion did not rely on the crude thermal engines or the gravitational pulses of lesser races, but on the local manipulation of the metric tensor. This allowed them to reach relativistic speeds of $0.15 in mere seconds, moving through the vacuum without the burden of inertia or the drag of physical momentum. They relied on vectors that defied the standard laws of physics, making our heavy kinetic projectiles look like ancient stone arrows launched into a raging hurricane. For months, they harassed our vital supply routes, turning the grain convoys from the Ceres system, the lifeblood of 1,000 core worlds, into drifting fields of crystalline ice and twisted scrap. Through intercepted telepathic frequencies, we heard them laugh. Their voices were like invasive static in our minds, calling our dreadnoughts rectangular coffins. Mountains of iron incapable of breathing, stagnant relics of a species that feared the infinite. They believed we were a civilization of stones, waiting to be ground into dust by the relentless flow of their silver tide. But the Kartha-Nur ignored a fundamental truth carved into our DNA and tempered by 5 millennia of bloody history. Humanity does not pray to the universe for mercy. Humanity forces the universe to its knees through cold will and mathematical discipline. We do not adapt to the chaos of the stars. We impose the order of Rome upon them. The Senate on Earth did not react with the frantic panic of the weak. Instead, the Curia Julia convened in a silence so heavy it could crush a star. The high-domed hall, lined with the digital ghosts of 100 emperors, echoed not with shouts of alarm, but with the measured click of tactical processors. The resulting decree was not for a desperate counterattack, but for a fundamental restructuring of the void itself. We did not try to build faster ships to compete with their ephemeral grace. That would be playing the enemy's game. We did not chase the wind, for the Roman mind knows that even the fiercest wind eventually hits a solid wall. Instead, the industrial gaze of the Empire turned toward the orbital shipyards near the star Vulcan. Here, a massive Dyson swarm of solar forges burns day and night, capturing the total output of $10-26 watts of pure stellar energy. Within these infernos, overseen by the tireless genii loci AIs, we built a response based on a philosophy older than the stars themselves. If the enemy runs, catch them. If the enemy believes space is their domain, turn the void into a terrestrial trap. We forged the armor of our new fleet from star bronze and graphene layers capable of absorbing the heat of a supernova, preparing for a confrontation that would redefine the meaning of stillness in a moving universe. Thus, the Corvus was reborn, a nightmare of antiquity resurrected in the age of antimatter. In the ancient Mediterranean, it was a simple wooden bridge for men. In the age of the stars, it was a tether of pure mechanical fury. We equipped our Hastati-class Vanguard ships with these massive electromagnetic claws, graphene arms 200 meters long, tipped with serrated iridium teeth and high-density fusion magnets. These were not weapons of destruction, but instruments of absolute stillness. Each Hastati was a specialized kinetic anchor, equipped with Janus-class gravity compensators, designed not to outrun the Kartha-Nur, but to absorb their kinetic energy upon contact and cancel it through sheer, unyielding mass. We were creating the anvil upon which their silver dream would be shattered. The Battle of Zama Prime began under the thick, orange glare of a gas giant, the massive gravity wells of the planet distorting the local sensor arrays and creating a shimmering veil of radiation that blinded the unwary. The Kartha-Nur arrived as they always did, thousands of silver ships appearing from the folds of space, expecting the usual asymmetric dance of shadows. They saw our fleet settled into a rigid, motionless grid, the Formatio Testudo Stellaris. From a distance, we must have looked like a cemetery of iron, 10,000 rectangular hulls overlapping their energy shields to create a continuous, golden surface of force. They laughed through their telepathic links, a sound of condescending joy. Their silver hulls reflected the orange sun like hungry mirrors as they lunged toward our flanks, preparing to slice through our energy shields with their metric tensor distortion beams. They were confident that our rigidity was our tomb, that our refusal to maneuver was the final proof of our obsolescence. They believed they were the ultimate hunters, and we were the static stones waiting to be shattered. Marcus Aurelius Valerius, standing on the black marble spaceship bridge of the Aeterna Victrix, watched the silver wave approach on his holographic tactical map. He did not blink. He did not sweat. He merely waited for the moment the enemy entered the kill box, the precise spatial coordinates where their speed would become their downfall. With a single, silent nod to his centurio, he gave the signal. The hostati surged forward. They did not move with the grace of birds. They moved with the terrifying, inevitable momentum of a falling mountain. They did not fire their main cannons. They threw their very mass into the path of the swarm. As the silver ships attempted to bank away at $0.1 C, performing maneuvers that would have torn any other vessel apart, the claw was launched. The sound did not travel through the vacuum, but it was felt as a seismic shock in the molecular structure of every ship. The massive Corvus arms slammed down onto the silver hulls of the Kartha-Nur with a force that ignored shields and distorted armor. Iridium teeth bit through chrome plates, creating a molecular bond that could not be severed. High-density fusion magnets activated with a roar of energy, welding the two ships into a single, dead weight. In an instant, the enemy's metric tensor propulsion was nullified by the crushing inertia of the Roman graphene. They were anchored, trapped in a mechanical embrace from which there was no hyperspace escape. The speed of the prey became zero. The agile hunters were now nothing more than stationary targets, bolted to the iron will of Rome, their frantic engines screaming in a void that no longer obeyed them. "Principes, deliver the blow," Valerius ordered, his voice flat and devoid of any human emotion, amplified by the synthetic processors of the bridge. From the shadows of the rear guard, the Principes-class Dreadnoughts moved forward. These were the true giants of the Empire, city-sized slabs of graphene and gold filigree, laden with enough antimatter to erase entire star systems. While the hostati held the prey in place, acting as the unmoving anvil, the Principes aligned their massive forward batteries with surgical, automated precision. There were no shouts of glory, no boarding hatches, and no human faces. Only the rhythmic, terrifying hum of capacitors charging to $10 15 joules. White light erupted from the main cannons of the Principes. The beams did not travel like fire. They moved like the judgment of a god, crossing the void at the speed of light. Held fast by the hostati, the silver ships of the Kartha-Nur could only sit and watch through their crystalline viewports as the Roman fire approached. It was not a battle, it was a methodical execution, a logistics problem being solved in real time by a superior machine of war. One by one, the silver pride of the nomads was turned into expanding clouds of stray atoms, their fluid beauty shattered by the sheer weight of Roman order. Hannibal Nur, the supreme commander of the Kartha-Nur, watched from his chrome throne as his fleet was dismantled, held still like a condemned man on the gallows. He realized too late that our rigidity was not a weakness, but an absolute order, a crushing weight under which chaos inevitably turns to dust. He saw that the Roman rectangle was not a coffin for us, but a cage for him. He saw the face of an enemy that did not hate him, but simply found him to be an inefficiency that needed to be removed from the equation of the universe. The victory was total. The Senate did not ask for peace treaties, recognition of borders, or the payment of tribute. Rome does not negotiate with entropy. Rome erases it. The orders were final. Ceterum censeo, Carthaginum esse delendum. We did not just destroy their ships, we erased their future. We salted their orbits with gravitational mines and clouds of pulvis mortis. Specialized nanobots programmed to consume every trace of Kartha-Nur technology and organic matter. We ensured that no life form would ever travel those sectors again, leaving them as a silent, cold monument to the price of arrogance. The Imperial Eagle now watches over a new desert of silver dust, a silent graveyard at the edge of the galaxy. For in this universe, there are many fast species, many intelligent species, and many cruel species. But there is only one Rome. And Rome does not forgive the arrogance of being considered prey. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to drop a like and subscribe for more.